Hello everybody, welcome to the lecture series of railway engineering. In this video lecture, I am going to discuss about railway fittings and fastenings. Okay, na? In previous session, we have been discussed about there will be different types of means used in a railway track to fit different components to each other. Understand or no? And especially for fitting two rails together in a railway track, we will use fish plates and fish bowls. And also for fitting rails to sleepers, we are having different types of means, and especially for fitting bull-headed rails and double-headed rails to the sleepers, we may use chairs and keys. And for fitting flat-footed rails to sleepers, we can use bowls. And instead of bowls, we can use a plate in between the sleeper and rail, that is called as bearing plate. And also spikes will be used for fitting flat-footed rails to the wooden sleepers. Understand? So these are all the different combinations which are involving in the fitting of different railway components to each other. Understand? Because first combination is fitting of rails to rails. For this purpose, we will use fish plates and fish bowls. And the next one is the fitting of rails to sleepers. In this again three combinations are there. First one is fitting of bull-headed rails and bull-headed rails and double-headed rails to the wooden sleepers. And next one is bull-headed rails and double-headed rails to the concrete sleepers. And next one is the flat-footed rails to the sleepers. Understand? So these are all the different combinations. Okay, so the most different means we will use: fish plates, fish bowls, spikes, chairs and keys, bowls, bearing plates. These are all the different means we will use in this session. Okay, now so in this session especially we are going to see that different aspects related to each and every means which is used in railway fittings. Understand or not? So let me discuss. Track fittings and fastenings. Fastening system. Rail fastening system is a means of fixing rails to sleepers, and also it involves in the connecting two rails together. Okay, now so for this purpose we can use different means. So there are fish plates, spikes, bowls, chairs, blocks, keys, plates, etc. Okay, now so first coming to fish plates, the fish plate, also called as splice bar or joint bar, is a metal bar that is bolted to the ends of two rails to join them together in a track. And also the fish plates are used to maintain continuity of rails and to allow for expansion. Okay, now so because whenever train is moving upon the rails can undergo sometimes expansion in horizontal direction, and they can undergo compression in vertical direction. Understand? So for to overcome these it means to provide facility for this contraction and expansion. Understand? So at the place where we are providing fish plates to join two rails, understand? So we can provide some convenient measures. Okay, so like that we can use fish plates. So maintain the continuity of rails and to allow for expansion and contraction of rail due to temperature difference, and also for temperature difference also some contraction or expansion may take place within rails. Okay, now maintain correct alignment of line both horizontally and vertically. And also fish plate is a small copper or nickel silver plate that slips onto both rails. Okay, now so in this picture you can see different fish plates which are using to connect two rails together. Understand? No? So you can see here two rails are there. At the place of two rails, fish plate was used, understand, only to join the two rails together, and the two rails and fish plate, all these things have been connected by using bowls. Those bowls are called as fish bowls. You can see here the it means the different dimensions of fish bowls and fish bolt holes. You can see here, and also always some gap should be in between the rail and fish plate. In this picture you can easily understand. Okay, now so coming to the requirements of fish plates, the fish plates must support the underside of rail and the top of the foot. and the fish plate should allow the free movement of rays for expansion and contraction. For this, they should not touch the web of the rail. Okay na? And for most of the cases, the coming to the functions of fish plate are they provide full expansion and contraction to the rails, and also they can bear vertical and lateral stresses without distortion and resist wear, and they provide, it means easy renewal and replacement of rails. Understand now? So okay, coming to these are all the different functions of fish plates in rails. You can see they should bear stresses due to lateral and vertical bending moments. They should hold ends of rail both laterally in lane and vertically in level. They should not wear due to impact, expansion and contraction. Understand now? So this is the one of the most important consideration which we need to consider even while we are selecting a particular rail for the particular purpose. Understand? Because due to wear or due to the temperature changes or due to different failures or different impacts on rails, they should not undergo any wear. Understand? And also they should bear certain impact loads and also expansion and contraction. Understand? So the provision of fish plates also should be convenient for the contraction and expansion of the rails without undergoing any failure or without causing any damage to rails. Okay na? And the length of fish plate should not exceed 475 mm in India. And coming to fish bowls, the bowls which are used in case of provision of fish plates are called as fish bowls. Okay na? So you can see the holes are drilled through plates and web of the rails, and the fish bowls and nuts are provided in these holes. And also alternate holes are made elongated and oval shaped so that bowls in the rails will not be turned by vibrations. So this is the most important aspect. And holes are made for larger diameter, generally 5 mm to 6 mm, to allow for expansion and contraction. Okay now, so in this picture you can see that fish plate and rail, and also in bottom picture you can see that fish bowls. Next one is spikes. To hold rails to wooden sleepers, we can use spikes. Understand? So already we have been discussed that to fit rails to the wooden sleepers, especially in case of flat-footed rails, we can use spikes. Understand? So in picture you can see different spikes. Understand? And based upon the size shape of the head of the spike, they have been classified into different types. Okay na? So basically these spikes are used to hold rails to wooden sleepers, and a rail spike is a large nail with an offset head that is used to secure rails and base plates to sleepers. And coming to the requirements of a good spike, it means a spike should contain all these properties, or these are all the requirements of a thing which should be act as a spike in case of railway track. It should be strong enough to hold rail in position and enough resistance to motion to retain its position. And also it should be cheap in cost. It should go in deep in sleeper as possible for better holding power, and also it should be easy in fixing and removal of sleepers, and it should have, understand? So in picture you can see different spikes. Understand? And based upon the size shape of the head of the spike, they have been classified into different types. Okay na? So basically these spikes are used to hold rails to wooden sleepers, and a rail spike is a large nail with an offset head that is used to secure rails and base plates to sleepers. And coming to the requirements of a good spike, it means a spike should contain all these properties, or these are all the requirements of a thing which should be act as a spike in case of railway track. It should be strong enough to hold rail in position and enough resistance to motion to retain its position, and also it should be cheap in cost. It should go in deep in sleeper as possible for better holding power, and also it should be easy in fixing and removal of sleepers, and it should have some capability. It means it should have some capability to maintain the gauge. Understand? So it means what are the aspect which we should do or which we should design in case of railway track. The only one thing will be common in design of each and every element of a railway track, and each in designing of or in planning of each and every aspect of a railway track. Understand? It is the alignment and gauge distance. Understand? So whatever the changes or modifications you can do to railway track, but its alignment should not be changed and its gauge distance should not be changed. Understand? So that will be the primary requirement or primary objective behind any means which is used in railway track fittings. And okay now, so different types of spikes are there. Among them, the most common type of spike is dog spike. The dog spikes are commonly used spikes, and based upon the shape of the head of the spike, the name has been given to dog spikes. Okay now, here you can see the picture of dog spike here. In this picture they are showing head of the spike. It is in the shape of head of the dog, so that's what it is called as a dog spike. Okay now, so it will hold rail flanges with timber sleepers, and also the shape of head of spike resembles ear of dog. Okay now, so hence it is called as dog spike. This section of spike is square shape and bottom of the part is either pointed or chisel shaped, but cheapest easy in fixing and removing from sleepers, and also it is easy to maintain better gauges by using dog spikes. Okay, in this picture you can see different dog spikes. Okay, so there are it means we can insert dog spikes in different ways, like by driving them, by blowing them, by boring them. Understand? So different ways are there. First one is the driving. Understand? So in the insertion of dog spikes to the sleepers, boring is the most important and most commonly used operation. Driving plays an important role in determining the holding power of a spike, driven in a staggering manner. Okay, now if spikes are placed opposite to each other, they have a tendency to split sleeper and have less holding power. Blows. Okay, now so by using blows or by blowing the spikes, also we can fit rails to sleepers. Okay, now okay, you can see here, blows to spike should be centric and irregular, otherwise they result in larger holes. And next is the bore holes. The spikes driven to bored holes have slightly smaller section than bore holes and have greater holding power than when driven without bore holes, and also crushing of sleepers can be reduced. Understand now? And one more thing we should know here, that the number of dog spikes should be used only two numbers per each rail, and also for heavy traffic it may be used in between 3 to 4, and on bridge sleepers only 4 number of sleepers per rail joint you need to use. Understand now? Next one is the dog spikes. Coming to dog spikes, okay now, by using auger, it means by using auger boring also we can drive them, and also by using plugging we can use them. It means we can insert them. Okay, now coming to auger, dog spikes are bored in 13 mm auger. The holes are bored vertically through sleeper. Verticality is essential, otherwise connections will be loose. Gauge will be winded, hole become widened, and sleeper will decay. Understand now? Because you see here, the dog spikes are bored using 13 mm auger, and also they can be bored vertically through the sleeper, and verticality is essential in this case, because it means if you not use verticality, in that case the connections will loosen and the gauge distance will be widened. It means the gauge distance will be changes, and also the hole become widened and the sleeper will get decay. Understand? Because this is the one of the disadvantage involving in the wooden sleepers. They can undergo decomposition or decaying. Next one is the plugging. Due to heavy traffic, when dog spikes gets loose, it is driven out and the hole is plugged with wooden plate. Another hole is bored and dog spike is re-driven there. Understand? So like that we can use plugging, and plugged holes are called spike killed holes. This is the another name involved for plugged dog spikes, that is called as spike killed holes. Another type of spikes is screw spikes. Now we can discuss about those screw spikes. These spikes are tapered screws with V threads used to fasten rails with timber sleepers. Head is circular with square projection. Okay, and they are having holding power is double that of dog spike. They resist lateral thrust in better way. They are more costly. The gauge maintenance is more difficult in case of screw spikes. And the next type of spikes is round spikes. The head either cylindrical or hemispherical. They are used for fixing chairs of bull-headed rails to wooden sleepers. They are only in under some special circumstance only round spikes may be used. Understand or no? So like this we can use round spikes. Next one is the elastic spikes. To overcome the problems of dog spikes, head absorbs the wave motion of the rail without getting it loose, provide better grip and result in reduction of wear and tear of rails. So they are commonly used in British railways. Elastic spikes are most commonly using in British railways. Okay, now so these are all the elastic spikes. These are all somewhat different even in their cross section. Next fastening we are going to see in track fittings is bowls. These bowls are considered as alternative to round spikes. Not in much use due to difficulty in fixing and removing bolt. Understand or no? So the bowls are not much using for railway fittings because they are difficulty for fitting them and also for losing them or for removing them from the connection of rail and sleeper. It is difficult somewhat, so that's why bowls are not in most cases they are not used, and most of the cases 19 mm diameter bowls will be used. Understand? Because 19 mm diameter and sufficient length to pass through sleeper. And there are also different types of bowls are there. First one is the fish bolt, fang bolt and fish bolt. Made from medium carbon steel. The fish bowls are made from medium carbon steel, and the length of bowls depends on type of fish plate used. Okay, now so it means the length which we need to take for fish bowl is depends upon the type of fish plate which we are using, and there too much tightening is prohibited as it prevents free expansion and contraction of rails. Nuts are made of sufficient length to provide a good grip on the bolt with square or hexagonal shape. Understand? So the nuts also used in case of bowls. Here the nuts are made of sufficient length to provide a good grip on the bolt. Good grip on the bolt with square or hexagonal shape. Next one is the chairs and keys. The chairs and keys are used in case of double-headed rails and bull-headed rails. You can see here for double-headed rails and bull-headed rails, chairs are used to support them in position. Made up of cast iron, it means the chairs and keys are mostly made up of cast iron. They distribute load from rails to sleepers. Chairs have been fixed to sleepers using wooden spikes, screws, fang bolts and spikes. Understand? The chairs have been fixed to the sleeper using wooden spikes, screws, fang bolts or spikes. And also chairs consist of two jaws and a rail seat. Understand? The chair consists of two jaws and a rail seat. The web of a rail is held in inner jaw of chair and a key is driven between rail and outer jaw of chair. See here, the web of rail is held in inner jaw of chair and a key is driven between rail and outer jaw of chair. So like this, here you can see the chairs and keys. So like this will be there. In most of the cases they are used for bull-headed rails and double-headed rails. The chairs are fixed to sleepers using 3 spikes. Keys may be of wood or metal and may be either straight or tapered. Wooden keys are cheap. Initially cost of steel is high, but life is about 10 times more than that of wooden keys. So steel keys are preferred nowadays. So there are different types of keys are there. Most commonly used and most important type of key is Stewart's key. Okay, now steel plate bend in the form of letter E and steel wedge, that is called as a Stewart key. You can see in this figure also Stewart keys. Okay, so the steel wedge to keep the key tight against rail web and out. And next is about the bearing plates. Rectangular plates of mild steel or cast iron are called as bearing plates, and most of the cases they are used to connect flat footed rails to sleepers. In that case, the bearing plates have been provided in between the rails and sleeper. You can see the bearing plates used below flat footed rails to distribute load on a larger area of timber sleeper. Okay, placed below rails carrying heavy vehicles at high speed. Okay, now so like this we can provide bearing plate. It means you can see in this figure just in between the rail and sleeper a small plate have been provided now. So that plate is called as a bearing plate here. Understand now? And coming to advantages of bearing plates, they can distribute load to sleepers over a large area and prevent snaking of rail in soft wooden sleepers, and they prevent distribution of sleepers due to rubbing action of rail, and also increase life of sleeper, help in firm and perfect holding of spikes to sleepers which prevents shifting of rails, and also for better maintenance of gauge we can use bearing plates. And coming to the disadvantages of bearing plates, these plates rattle when loose, and also when any hole for a spike is failed and a new hole is to be made, all spikes in the bearing plate have to be pulled out, which affects good hold of spikes. Understand? So when any hole for a spike is failed and a new hole is to be made, in that case all spikes in the bearing plate have to be pulled out, which affects good hold of spikes. So when bearing plates are loose, they admit moisture and result in mechanical wear of the sleepers. Understand? So up to now we have been discussed the different components of it means different means which are used for fitting track. It means they are called as track fittings and fastenings. So till now we have been discussed about track fittings and fastenings. Okay na? So the most commonly used means for track fitting, it means the fastening system involving in the railway track are fish plates, spikes, bowls, chairs, blacks, keys and plates. Thank you guys.